so I'm here with Sebastian Wenzel, a Fanatic shaper, and our product manager Daniel Aberley. We're going to have a little bit of a closer look at the Hawk in our lineup. So Sebastian, tell me a little bit about the Hawk.
Yeah, the Hawk is a complete new shape. We had the previous shape in the range for quite some time, which was a very performance-oriented free race board, basically.
Okay.
The main target on the new shape was to achieve better control without really losing any of the upper end performance. We moved the fin box a little bit further forward, and on the outline you see that it's a bit more wide here in the tail section, which gives us a more parallel outline throughout the whole board. Also, we widen up the nose a bit, so all this line has less curve than it has before, and it gives you actually additional control. On the other hand, this is nice, you have a bit more area, it's better acceleration to get on the plane after the jibe.
So Danny, how are we looking for sizes in the Hawk lineup this year? Has that changed much, or is it similar?
We kind of changed the whole concept of the Hawk range. We sized down to 3 sizes now. There's a 99, a 113 and a 124. They all got a bit wider, they all got a bit shorter and have a much bigger range of use. So I think the whole new Hawk is kind of a new area of this concept and shape as well.
Along with what Dani said, with being a bit wider and shorter, we have also changed the bottom shape, the rocker line, which we've been using for quite some time. It's been a very good line that we found over the years, but it needed a little bit of upgrade, and that's actually more in the front section of the board. The tip of the nose pretty much is the same, but in between here and here we sort of lifted the curve a little bit, and makes the board nice and free, especially being a little bit wider. That's pretty nice. And then you have a double concave entry here running into V, you can see that nicely, and then the double concave fades out in the center. We have actually realized if you keep the double concave too far back, the boards tend to feel sucky and don't go really lively, so that's why the double concave sort of ends here, going into a flat panel V off the tail here with a nice release. You can see also this rocker actually doesn't feature a lot of tail release, a little bit, but not much, not as much as we have on the slalom boards. That's mainly due for if you want to get, as we call it, passive planing, you know. If you have a bit more power under your back foot to get going without pumping, that's easier. On a slalom board the guys are more active and you can afford to be less planing active.
And tell me a little bit, so the V, having the V up here, what's that changed? Is that just how it sits in the chop a little bit?
Well, it cuts through the chop nicely, and the double concave helps that as well, so that's very nice. If you would go flat, the board would be really bouncy through the chop, but with that double concave V, it's really smooth.
But as we moved the whole trim forward of the board, which before we had a lower rocker line with the straps and everything further back, so you were pushing the tail a bit more to get it free. As now we moved everything further forward to kind of get your body a bit more to the center and get more control. We had to lift the rocker and the V up so it's not touching. So it's kind of nice and hovercrafting, and you kind of have the control and just sit in and.
And how's the speed
along
on this board compared to last year's shapes? Is it slowed
It's competitive.
down at all, or is
We
it
took
still...
it.
Well, it's as fast, if not faster, but it's much easier to ride it.
After we tuned up the rocker lines on the latest prototypes we did, we also tried a bit on rakes on the fins. So that's how we kind of created that newer outline, which is a bit more straight and then just kind of curving up in the tail. So you get nice and power lift at the bottom with kind of a nice flexy tip. We changed to a new technology full composite fin from G10 back, which
So
has
you have a better
more,
flex control
so
on
we have
that.
a better flex control. We also created new layups for it, and also new finishing, hand foiled, hand
They look
sanded
really
finishing.
nice, the fins. The fin can change the performance of a board dramatically, so supplying this board with this new fin. The board below has the cork sandwich. This is a bamboo sandwich. It's a very nice material, has very good mechanical properties. It's a little bit like a UD. You can see all these bamboo fibers running into this direction. Works really nice. And shape is the same. They come from the same mold. It's just a different layup, you know. This is really the Carboni Negra, is the high end. And this is the more commercial sort of layup. Very nice looking. One thing we haven't touched earlier, you have all kinds of different foot strap options. You have the inner option as well, and in the back here you can even run it with the center if you want to do a little bit of freestyle, for example. That's actually the origin of the Hawk, was the Supercross at the old days.
Remember, yeah.
Like a bump and jump slalom kind of thing. And that's why we still build in a lot of maneuverability into these sports. They're not just fast free riders, no, they have a lot of maneuverability built in. So that's why you have a single center strap option there as well as the more inner foot strap options.
So I
here.
guess it could work great as like a bump and jump board still for a bigger guy.
It could, and if you use a smaller one of these, you get along maybe making your first freestyle moves or carving 360s, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Interesting stuff.